Hello people, I am the Cockpit Gamer, and today I'm going to be talking about what I want in a Deathstroke game. So, for story, I'm just going to set up the beginning of what I would like in a Deathstroke game. I'm not going to set up like, oh, I want this, this, and this, or like, I want it to be based off this comic, because obviously with the story they would be doing like they did with the Arkham games, how they would be doing their own original story, and then just taking maybe little bits and pieces from comics. So yeah, and I'm not going to just think of like some story out of the blue and be like, I want this. Because, you know, obviously they're going to do their own original story. But for what I would want for the beginning is it to open with a cutscene, like a 3-minute cutscene, sort of like Arkham City and Arkham Origins did. And it just be Deathstroke's origin. It to be Deathstroke joining the military, you see him join the military, meeting his wife, being like, you know, the best of the best in the military, getting the truth serum that turns out to be a super soldier serum. And yeah, and then the cutscene to end with Wintergreen, his best friend, getting captured. Billy Wintergreen is his best friend in the comics, and that's what happened in the comics. He got captured, and I'd love for that to happen in the cutscene. Like, you hear about him getting captured and how Deathstroke can't go and save him because the military sees him as too unstable since he had this super soldier serum on him, in him. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool because, you know, that's what happened in the comics, and they could set up, and then it ends there, and the gameplay picks up with you infiltrating this camp of these bad guys that took Wintergreen, and you have to save him, and that'd be really cool. Like, you know, stealthy way, like you have to go and save Wintergreen, go in stealth, and then exit a little less stealthy. And I think that'd just be really cool. I just think that would be a really cool way to open it, and a really strong opening to a game, which is what you want, and then to keep going and keep that momentum. Yeah, that's what I would want for the opening. Then after that, it resumes after the Suicide Squad game, because obviously we'd be getting a Suicide Squad game before we get a Deathstroke game, since they already set up the Suicide Squad game. But yeah, where I would want it to pick up off with after you save Wintergreen, watch my Deathstroke Arkhamverse video, because I don't want to have to explain this and take up an extra like 5 minutes in the video when I've already made a video about that. Just watch my Deathstroke Arkhamverse video. That's why I'm talking about how they could fix what happened with Deathstroke in the Arkhamverse, since I thought it was really stupid how they had him get beat by Batman, and it's an early on Batman, not even a later in his career Batman. So yeah, I would want it after you save Wintergreen to pick up from after the Suicide Squad game. So yeah, and now for gameplay wise, this is where it gets really fun. For the hand-to-hand and like, let's start off with combat in the gameplay. I like his staff, his sword, and hand-to-hand to be all 3 separate things. That'd be so awesome if you could select them. That adds so much more variety than just going up and punching people or hitting them with your staff like you did in the Arkham Origins. Or they could even just mix the hand-to-hand with the staff like they did before, or do the same thing with the sword. But I think it'd be really cool. You have 3 separate ways to fight, and like just mixing all 3 of those would be so cool. Obviously they'd have to do something to balance the sword out to where you're not just stabbing people and they're dead. But I don't want Assassin's Creed combat. No, I want the Arkham style combat. I don't want Assassin's Creed combat. I just don't want that. That to me would slow down the Deathstroke game so much, and I just don't want that. Guns, as far as they go, to me, you should have like only for certain missions. How I want for when you go on missions and stuff, it to be like the Hitman series up until Absolution, to where you can you can choose your class, well, not your class, your guns and your weapons and stuff before you go out into the field. I think that'd be really cool. Like, Deathstroke has safe houses in all these different cities that you go to, since Deathstroke's a mercenary. He's going to be taking contracts everywhere. He has safe houses in these different places, and with, like, say, side missions and contracts that he can accept, with the money he makes, he can build new safe houses, put more stuff in those safe houses, and so that way he can choose his weapons. And I think it'd be cool, like, you always have a sword and a staff on you, obviously, and then like a pistol, but you can choose other things to go on that. But that's only if you choose to. Like, you're going on a mission, you can choose, hey, I can go to the other side of town and go to my safe house and gear up for this mission, or I can just go right to it and beat these guys up. But it's going to be a little bit harder because I don't have all my equipment. And I think that'd be really cool. It adds more player choice, and yeah, I really like that. I think it would be a good idea to do. Yeah, like yeah. Now, for like throughout the story in the game, I have thought of it, and I was like, okay, maybe I should throw this in there. I think it would be cool if it is a Batman revenge story from Arkham Origins. I know a bunch of people are thinking like, what? But the main reason I'm thinking about this is think of Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is the best to me comic book video game. I like Arkham City better than Asylum. I know that sounds a little weird, but I mean actual based on a comic book, not a comic book character as a comic book. You think of it, you are playing in an actual comic book in Arkham Asylum more than you are a city. In Arkham City, you are in the Arkhamverse world. You are more in that Batman world playing as Batman. To where Arkham Asylum, you are more in the comic book world, more in an actual comic book. That's the way I felt while playing it, at least. In Arkham City and Origins, I felt like I was in the Arkham world doing stuff, but in Arkham Asylum, I felt like I was in an actual comic book. And that's, to me, the way this first game could play out. It could be like in Green Arrow Road to Jericho. What happened was, Green Arrow, previously, in Green Arrow Crawl Through the Wreckage, Green Arrow had beaten Slade, had beaten Deathstroke, but Deathstroke had planned it. He wanted it, he planned to get beat by Green Arrow. He wanted it to happen so that way he could get thrown into that prison and break out Constantine Dracon, because that was his contract, was to break him out of prison. So he did that, and then he came back because everybody in the world knew that that Green Arrow had kicked Deathstroke's butt. So Deathstroke came back and kicked the living crap out of Green Arrow and Black Canary just to prove that he was better than him, and showed him, he's like, I can do this anytime I want. And that's, to me, how this should be. Deathstroke should come back and be like, hey, you know, when you beat me during that contract, well, I can beat the living crap out of you anytime I want. And just coming like, that's the story. It's like him accepting contracts and things and getting stuff in place, and you get to see Deathstroke, the planning that he does. Because in the comics, we see like we see Deathstroke plan certain things out, and then we see him like beat these people up, and it's like we don't get to see the planning. This would be really cool to be the character and see him plan these things, and you have to go and do stuff, get stuff in place, and I just think that'd be really awesome. And like maybe Deathstroke even set it up as a stage, like just be like, I beat you. Everyone knows it, just like, because it was completely humiliating how he lost in Origins. Like he's down there on the ground, like blood all around, and his mask's off. And I was like, so I think, because you know, normally Deathstroke's not someone who would fight someone on a stage, but to me, he would this time just to show everyone that he can beat the living crap out of Batman. And yeah, and to me that would be the ultimate boss fight. Plus, you know, he doesn't have to kill him, just beat him up, so that way Batman has to live with the fact that Deathstroke beat the crap out of him. Also, even if they wanted to kill him, they're not going to, but even if they want to, they could, because after Arkham Knights, that's supposedly the last Arkham game. I think it's the last, not last Arkham game, last Batman game. I think it's the last Batman game for like several years, and then they're gonna go back. They could kill Batman if they wanted to in another game series, but they won't do that. Now for side missions. Side missions are pretty much endless with Deathstroke, because you have so many contracts. You have assassinations, protections, stealing. This to me is the really cool part where like choosing your arsenal comes into play. Like if it's an assassination of someone that you're gonna kill that's like in the open, you would obviously choose a sniper, and then you gotta plan your escape route and stuff and snipe this guy, get out of there. And then for another one, it could be, hey, he's in a building. You choose more short-range stuff. You choose like pistols and yeah, and like your sword and your staff, obviously. Which to me, you should have your sword and your staff on you at all times, and maybe a pistol. But also, I'd like say you could have a grenade or pistols, like make you choose one of those, so that way you're not like super OP going around, and this game doesn't turn into a shooter. I don't want the Deathstroke game to turn into a shooter. Obviously, also this game needs to be M. I really would like this game to be him, so that way Deathstroke can be just stabbing people and stuff and doing what he wants. And I don't want it to be like a complete gore fest, but I don't want it to be held back by the T rating. Yeah, but the contract's possibilities are endless. Imagine a contract on Count Vertigo. If you've read the issue, it was some issue for Green Arrow in the New 52 where Green Arrow breaks Shadow out of Count Vertigo's compound. He breaks in there and takes, because Shadow's captured by Count Vertigo and being held in there, and he breaks in there, breaks her out, leaves. That'd be so cool with Deathstroke breaking in there, killing Count Vertigo, because he is like a tyrant in his I don't remember the name of the fictional country or whatever it was. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, he's like a tyrant there, and obviously there'd be people that don't like him, and he gets a contract on that. Also, another cool fact would be player choice in the contract. Say you decline someone's contract, they send a bunch of people after you, be like, you think you're too good for me, you're not gonna accept my contract, bam. So like, you're on your way to a mission, and then all these guys just start attacking you. Like, these guys just come up and start trying to beat you up, and I think that'd be so cool. Because, and you're thinking, why are these guys attacking me? Oh wait, I declined that one contract, and they're like, we're from blah blah blah, you didn't accept his contract, we're gonna kill you now. I just think that'd be really cool. Yeah, just so many contracts, endless possibilities for side missions. Now for his this utilities that he has on him, like Batman's utility belt, I think throwing knives should replace batarangs. Obviously the smoke grenades, but that he had before. Well, he had a stun grenade in Arkham Origins. The staff darts. I think it'd be pretty cool if you had interchangeable ammunition. So you could have darts, you could have you could have bullets, you could have different types of things, and I think that'd be really cool. Like just all these, like an explosive type round, just these different types of ammunition. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, it's like 12 minutes long already. Well, no, it's 11 minutes. But yeah, also another thing I forgot to add this in for the main hub, because obviously after you beat the game, you have to have a main hub to go running around it and beating thugs up like they do in the Arkham games. They're not going to go back to Arkham Asylum where you just have an empty island and you go get Riddler trophies. So to me, the main hub should be Bloodhaven. I know that sounds a little weird, but the reason to me that should be Bloodhaven is that could also be the reason Dick Grayson chooses Bloodhaven, because Deathstroke is there, and if Deathstroke beats up Batman, like I was saying in the story, he has a reason to go there and choose that as his main place, because this guy is here. Deathstroke is not a villain, but obviously everyone would see him as a villain after he beats the crap out of Batman. And they've already portrayed him as a really, because he's an anti-hero, he's not a villain, but everyone already sees him as a villain since he went for the 50 million on Batman, which was so stupid in Arkham Origins. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna end it here so I don't extend this video really long. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? What would you like to see in a Deathstroke game? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.